in this case. It's nice to see you for the last time in this course, English That's Work Level 5. I'm going to do a recap of what we were studying last time. So last time we were talking about conditionals because the evidence is going to use conditionals. First, we said that there is a difference between if and whether, because in Spanish, both are translated as sí, but this is a condition. If and whether are translated the same in Spanish. But what's the difference? We use whether when we have two options, only two options. So, for example, it is unsure whether she will be interested in getting the job. So she might get the job or she might not get the job. There are no other options. So whether is used as a conditional when we only have two options. Instead, if is a conditional, but this is used when we say, in case of this happens, then another thing is going to happen. It can be anything. So it might rain, it might go to the university, it might be winning a scholarship or whatever. So this is the difference between if and whether. Additionally, we said that with conditionals, we can have the condition at the beginning and the effect later, or vice versa. The condition, the starting situation is going to be using the word if or whether, depends on the context, and the consequence or the effect is going to be separated with a comma, unless that we use the effect first and then the condition, the starting situation. Okay. We also said that zero conditional is going to use simple present tense. So when we were talking about zero conditional, we were saying that simple present tense is divided into parts. We have the verb to be on the first part, and we have verbs like enjoy, detest, believe, create, and so on. And they are going to be modified in affirmative sentences if this action, this activity, is performed by Christian, Camila, or the dolphin, right? Additionally, we said that with negative sentences, we use the auxiliary verb don't or doesn't, and the same auxiliary verb is going to be used in questions. This is with simple present tense, side B. With side A, we use verb to be. So verb to be is the main and only verb. So we already know how verb to be works, therefore I'm not going to spend a lot of time in here. Why did we mention this? Why are we mentioning this? Because zero conditional is going to be used to talk about things when we have a condition, and taking that into account, that condition, the effect is going to be highly predictable. So we use present tense for the condition, and we also use present tense for the effect, right? Because we are predicting kind of predicting the future, because we know that something is going to happen, yes or yes. So the probability of success is elevated, 95 to 100%. So this is why we use zero conditional for scientific laws and rules. Therefore, we use a zero conditional for general habits, for permanent truths or facts, and to give instructions like orders. So this is a zero conditional. We already studied this, so I'm going a little fast. Now we're going to focus in first conditional. This is today's topic. First conditional is going to be used when we believe something is very probable, something is very possible to happen in the future. However, we don't know the future, so we have not certainty, 100% of certainty that something is going to happen. We believe something is going to happen, and the probability of this event happening is high. right? But it's not 100%. We don't have the 100% of certainty that something is going to really happen. We try to predict the future, but we cannot. So this is first condition. So we use it for things which might possibly happen in the future if a condition is met. So remember, with conditionals, we use conditionals when we have a previous event. If we have a previous event and a hypothesis, then something else is going to happen. The probability of this effect happening might be big, moderate, low, minimum, or zero. It could be a dream. This is possible. In this case, zero conditional mentions a probability of success big. Not 100% of probability, but it's going to be a big probability of something happening. Okay. So it describes possible things which could easily come true. So, for example, we have a condition. Remember, we always mention the condition with the word if or with the word whether, and we already know the difference. Whether is used when we only have two possibilities, yes or no, left or right, up or down, nothing else. We use if when the result can be anything, up, down, left, right, forward, back, and so on, right? Up, down. See, so we use the condition with the word if, and this is the example. If we work hard, this is the condition. Maybe can happen. So when this happens, no, this doesn't mean that it's going to happen. But if we have this condition, the result is going to be highly predictable. Not 100% of success. We are not going to have 100% of success predicting the future, but we are going to have a result that's going to be very similar to what we think. So the result is we will finish the project on time. Why do we know this? Because every time we work hard, you and I, every time we meet to do a budget for our business, every time we do it, every time we spend 14, 16 hours a day working together, every time we do that, we have had always the same result. We finish the project, we finish the budget for our business in 2 days, or maybe 3, and that's it. So we finished on time. So we have experience, we have knowledge, we have background that says this is going to be the same for the next series of events. The probability of success of a prediction is high. Not 100% because we don't know the future yet, but the probability of success is big. So this is the result. We will finish the project on time. May this be a fake? May this not work? Yes, because maybe we are not going to finish the project on time because, I don't know, maybe one of us suffered an accident or we spent time playing video games instead of working just for 1 hour to relax, but we didn't spend 1 hour. Instead, we spent like 5 hours. So we didn't manage our time correctly. So everything may happen, or maybe the project is too hard, it's too difficult, it's something new for us. So maybe we are not going to be able to predict the future perfectly. Once again, we don't know the future. It's not possible to predict the future with certainty. We try, but it's not possible. So in this case, we are saying that it's possible that we finish the project on time, taking into account the condition of working hard now. So we know that when we work hard, we normally finish our projects on time. So we are predicting that this is likely this is the likely result in the future, because we have the experience, we have the knowledge, right? Because this is why we are saying that we are going to be punctual in these activities. So because of this, we use first conditional when we talk about plans, possible plans, promises, warnings, threats, or we want to persuade someone to do something. And perhaps this is not so new for you, because I'm pretty sure you are going to remember these words. When? Do you remember that when we were talking about the simple future tense, we said that we use simple future tense to predict the future, to talk about plans, to talk about promises. I'll see you tomorrow, for example, to talk about warnings and threats, for example. I'll be back. Do you remember this? We are going to use this first conditional almost for the same reasons why we use the future will, the future tense will. Okay, so these are some examples. This is the condition. If we go to Armenia next month for work, then this is the cause. The effect is this: I will visit the National Coffee Park, because this is a plan. And because we have already studied future will tense, we know that a plan is a promise, and we are going to do everything possible in our hands, in our skills, in our time, in our schedule, and so on, to make this plan come true. So this is a promise for us. An example of a promise: if I have time, I will help you. I'll do my best to do something for you if I have time. So if I finish my activities before 4 p.m., I will have 2 hours left to study with you, to help you with your homework, to help you with your project, whatever. So if I have time, given this condition, I can predict that I'm going to be with you, because I like to help my team, right? Because this is something that I like to do, and a this is something I normally do. I know myself, for example. Let's suppose that. Example of a warning. If you touch that wire, cable, you will get an electric shock. I know this for experience, because I have already touched that. Or maybe the person who installed this this fence with electric wires, he said, don't do it, don't touch it, because you're going to get an electric shock. So I know this for experience. Once again, we are going to predict something based on experience, based on knowledge. We are going to predict the future, but the probability of the probability of this future happen is elevated, not 100%, but it's too high. So that's why we are saying this, because maybe we can have maybe the energy is going to have a crisis, like what happened in Chernobyl in 1986, I guess. I don't really remember the year, but this is what happened in the Soviet Union. So they didn't have energy because the reactor exploded. So maybe that's going to happen. So we cannot predict the future, but the probability of success of this event is high. And an example of a threat: if you eat my chocolate, if you do that, and you do it without my permission, I'm going to do something against you. And this is my threat. You will sleep outside with the dog. I don't want to sleep with you, right? This is a threat. Last example, a persuasion. If you drive us to the concert, I pay for the parking. So do me this favor, please. So if you do this for me, I'll do something else for you, right? This is a persuasion. Instead of using if, like before, like with zero conditional, when we were saying we could use if, or we could use the word whether in this case, because let's remember whether for two options, if for many options, a series of options if you want. We can also replace the word if with words like unless, a menos que, as long as soon as, in case. This is normal. This is very common to mention these conditions, unless, as long as soon as, in case, but is more if the word if is more common. So we are not going to change the meaning of a sentence. We just use these four options in case that just in case that we don't want to be repetitive. We want to use some a different, an additional expression. That's it. Example: I want to stay in Bogota. I will not stay in Bogota unless I get a well-paid job. For example, I can go to the party as long as you're back by midnight. Given this condition, I have the result, or given a result, I will have a condition. So these are some examples. So how is this conditional going to work? What's the structure? With zero conditional, let's return for a second with zero conditional, just for a moment. With zero conditional, we said that the cause is going to be mentioned with simple present tense, and the effect is going to be mentioned with simple present tense again, because we are predicting something that we know for true that's going to happen. This is going to happen both in Colombia, in Brazil, in Medellin, in the air, in the dirt, in Paris, in Bogota, whatever, right? We are predicting although. This is something that's always going to happen. For this reason, we use simple present tense as a condition and simple present tense as an effect. What's going to happen with the first conditional? We're going to do something slightly different, because the conclusion, the effect, the result is going to change. We are trying to predict this effect. The effect might happen as we believe that's going to happen, but the probability of this is event being successful, I mean, being predicted as we want, is not 100%. It's 90-80% of we are going to have a 90-80% of success. So that's why we are going to use the future tense, the future will. We already studied future simple tense. The cause is going to be used with simple present. The effect is going to be used with future simple tense. And again, we can say the cause at the beginning and the effect at the end, or vice versa. If we have the cause at the beginning, we need a comma. If we have the effect at the beginning, the comma is not required, like in zero condition. Okay? So I think it's important to remember, just to remember how simple future tense works, because we have already studied this. We said for future simple tense, we need a person who is going to do an activity tomorrow, next week, next month, in 2050, or whatever. So we need an action, right? Marcos create. Let's suppose that we have the person and the verb, but something is missing. The missing word is going to be will. And we said the translation of will is going to be re, ras, ran, remos, ra. Caminaré, caminarás, caminará, caminaremos, caminarán, for example. This is going to be done in the future. Tomorrow, in 3 hours, the day the day after tomorrow, next month, I don't know. We need a person, we need a verb, and in the middle of these two parts of speech, we're going to use an auxiliary verb. This is going to give the translation of re, ras, ran, remos, ra, remaré, remará, remarás, and so on. We also said that when we want to say that something is not going to happen, we use will not or its contraction won't, taking into account that the main verb is not going to change. And when we have questions to make for the future, if we want to know that something is going to happen in the future, for example, will you come to my house next Monday? Let's suppose that. We are going to use the verb will, the auxiliary verb, at the beginning of the question. This structure happens in present, in past, and future, both in present continuous and past continuous, both in present simple and present continuous, both in past simple, both in past continuous, both in future simple, both in future continuous. So you have already studied simple present, simple past, simple future, past continuous, and present continuous. So that's why I'm mentioning this tip in terms of grammar, this grammatical tip. So in terms of grammar, this is going to be very similar to other verbal tenses. So we need to be careful with the word will. That's it. All right. We already know the structure. We need present simple for the condition and future simple for the effect. So given this situation, given this initial situation, given this initial event, when this happens, something else is going to happen in the future. The probability of success of this event, this result, is high. Not 100% of probability. We cannot predict the future, but the probability is high. So we can have the condition and then the effect, or vice versa. Once again, if we have the condition, we need a comma. If we start with the effect, the comma is not required. Okay. Let's see some examples. If it rains, this is present because this is the condition. The effect is this. I decide that I will not go to the park. I don't want to get wet. This is the effect. Or vice versa. I will not go to the park. This is the effect. And the condition is this. If it rains. Another two examples. If Joanna is free tomorrow, he will invite her to have dinner, let's suppose that. Or vice versa, the effect first. Mario will invite Joanna to have dinner, let's suppose that, if Joanna is free tomorrow. And the last example, effect first. Cause first. If we don't save money, the result of not saving money is going to be this. We are not going to be able to buy Christmas presents. Vice versa, we will not be able to buy Christmas presents if we don't save money now. We don't start saving money now, right? Cause and effect, or an effect and cause. So this is very simple. This is too easy. Okay, this has been already mentioned. Therefore, let's go with some games. Let's begin with quizzes. Chat. Okay, let's go. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. I will finish the game at 8:39. Okay, one more minute. Okay, look, I'm going to stop the game now. All right, so congratulations to Michelle, third place, Juan David, second place, and Samuel, first place. Good. Let's see the difficult questions. There are two difficult questions, therefore let's give some feedback in them. So we said first conditional is formed with what? First conditional uses simple present tense and simple future tense. So present simple, yes, this is correct. Past simple, definitely not. Present simple, maybe. Past simple, no. So we have two possibilities, A and C. We are not going to use the word good. Instead, we are going to use the word will, because the word will is what's going to make the simple future tense. Without the word will or will not, depending on the context, we are not going to have a future simple tense. Therefore, the option here is A. If the conditional, first conditional is created with conditional if, present simple, and future will. That's it. Let's go with the next one. If, remember, when we have the word if, we have the condition, and the condition is mentioned with present. When the result is going to be with future, is going to be mentioned with future, and this doesn't have any word like if, unless, as long as soon as, and so on. Therefore, if they, we need to use simple present tense. Didn't, no, because this is past. Do not, maybe. Will, no. Don't, maybe. So, do not and don't, those two are possible. Option 2 and 4. Now we have the effect, and we know that the effect is going to be used with future will. And what's the word that, what's the option that uses future here? Will have. If they do not come, we will have to go home. We are not going to wait forever outside the house, right? We need to go. We'll go out. Last one. Effect first, and then the cause. The effect starts the sentence. So we need to use the future. What option mentions the future? Lost? No, because this is past. We lose? Maybe. Losing? No. We loses? Maybe. When let's remember something about the future tense. Let's remember that when we have the word will in future, when we have with the word will, the main verb create, enjoy, believe, jump, fly, study, or whatever is never going to be modified. So it goes in infinitive. Therefore, the word is lose, not loses. So the option here is will lose. It doesn't matter if who loses is me, is you, is your best friend, is are all the members of your family, your cousins, whatever, it doesn't matter. The verb is not going to change because that's why we use the word will. I will lose weight if I exercise. This is the effect when I have this condition. And this always happens. If you do exercise, you will lose weight. This happens. So you're predicting the future. Unless that you have some kind of issue with your health, maybe you have hypothyroidism or something like that. So this it's going to be a little more difficult for you to lose weight. But if you don't have any medical condition, this is going to happen, yes or yes. If you do exercise, you will lose weight. So this is easy to predict. Let's go with some. Let's go with another example. I have no. I thought I had something. I had a question, but no. Let's go with another example, another exercise. Because you're only 3, I'm going to play this one. You already know the rules. You need to collect the diamonds and you have to skip all the other items like boots, bones, um, or cans. You have to avoid them. Okay, let's go. Good luck. Fifty seconds left.
Esta es la ciudad.
Okay, time up. So, third place, this is for Michelle. Second place, this is for Juan David. And the first place is for Samuel. Congratulations. Well, so thank you, Kahoot. See you in another occasion. Let's play another exercise. Once again, zero conditional. In this case, you already have this, you can see this game in Jeopardy. So I'm going to open all of options of 100. You're going to open the microphone, so you are going to participate once, choosing a category and a score. 200, 300, 400, 500 options, correct, and make the question, fill the blanks, or make the first conditional. So options in this case. If she goes to the birthday party, a present. What's the correct option here? She brings, she will bring, or she bring a present. So if she goes, we have the condition here. And let's remember that when we have the condition goes in present. So we already have the present. What's the effect? The effect is going to be mentioned with future. So what's the option that mentions the future? The option that mentions the future is this. She will bring a present. And the answer is will bring a present. That's correct. Correct or incorrect? You have to tell me if the sentence is has mistakes or no. If it's correct or not correct. I will take my umbrella. I will take my umbrella. This is the effect. The effect is used with simple future tense. Therefore, until now, this is correct. If it will rain tomorrow, if it will rain. This is the cause. The cause, it has to be mentioned with simple present tense. But here we are using the verb will. Therefore, this is not correct. It has to say, if it rains tomorrow, I will take my umbrella. Or I will take my umbrella if it rains tomorrow. Because we need to conjugate the verb with simple present tense. I mean, rains. So this has to be the answer. If it rains tomorrow. So this is not correct. Make a question. What do you do you win the lottery? In this case, I'm going to skip this part, but if you want to try it, you can say something like this. What will you do if you win the lottery? In this case, future tense in question. This is a future tense in question. This is the effect. And the cause, if you win the lottery. If you win the lottery, what will you do? Present, the cause. Future, the effect. So you will need to reorganize it. I mean, this is already organized. You will have to add some words and create a question taking into account the context. Fill the blanks. So you have to conjugate the verb, be this in present simple or be this with future simple tense, because you need to know what's the cause and what's the effect. We play football. In this case, we are not having the word if. Therefore, this is the effect. Ergo, we need to use the future simple tense. We will play football tomorrow if the weather. In this case, we have if. We need to use the simple present tense. And the conjugation of verb to be for simple present tense in third person of singular is. So if the weather is nice, there it is. And last one, create the first conditional. You pass your exam if you study harder. With these words, you need to create the first conditional. In this case, for example, is you will pass your exam if you study harder. So effect and cause. Okay, let's go then with participations, with the participants. Let's go with Juan, then Samuel, and then let's go with Michelle. So Juan, choose the category and the score.
Okay, copy. And so for correct and correct.
Mhm.
And so from is fighting
500.
points. Yes.
500
Yes.
points. Okay, look.
Yes, 100 points.
If one stay until the end of the party, he will get home very late. Is that correct or incorrect? Right or wrong?
Mm, and so from is correct.
It's correct. Okay, let's see
Sure.
if your answer is right. You say correct, right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, let's check the answer. And the answer is no, it's not correct. Why? Because if
Ah,
Juan, this is present, so let me see, here it is. When we have the word if, we're going to use the simple
yes.
present tense. Until now, it goes well, but because Juan is he, third person of singular, the main verb must be modified. What do we do with the verb? We add the word, the letter S. If Juan stays until the end of the party, this party is not important, he will, when we have the future will, the main verb doesn't have any change. It's going to be in its verb form, I mean, without conjugation, I mean, in infinitive. Therefore, it's will get. If one
Okay. How many
stays,
copy? How many copy?
okay. So, present, we modify the verb if needed. Future, the verb doesn't change because we have the word will. Okay, look, let's go with who's next? Oh, yes, Samuel.
Hi, teacher.
Hello.
I will choose the same category, correct
Okay.
or incorrect.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try with 200. Thank
For
you.
real, 200?
Yes.
Okay. So if we go out tonight, we will lock the door.
If we go out tonight, we will lock the door. We will lock the door if we go out tonight. Can be correct.
Are you sure?
If we go out. I know. It's the opposite.
Is
Because
incorrect?
is incorrect. Because fears
Are
is
you
the
sure?
effect. We will lock the door. I put in the different order. Maybe first we will lock the door if we go out tonight. But if I choose this, in this case, will be correct.
So you say, we will lock the door if we go out tonight. This is the correct sentence.
First the effect and then the cause. Maybe seen. I have doubt about it,
Okay.
but
Question. Would you bet 100 million euros for your answer? Not dollars, euros.
no, I don't want to bet because I think about the future of my sons, and it's a lot of money.
Okay, so then you say it's correct, right?
I
So
think
we
that is
have to change the order.
a tricky one. This
Okay, let's
question.
see. Let's check if your answer is correct. And
Okay,
the
okay.
answer is correct. It doesn't matter if we have the cause and then the effect or vice versa. We have the effect and then the cause. It doesn't matter. In this case, both options are correct. We will lock the door if we go out tonight, or if we go out tonight, we will lock the door. Both options are correct. So if you had bet 100 million euros, you would have win this
For the,
amount of
for the
money. But
college of my sons.
yeah, but maybe for the next time. Okay,
Thank you.
let's go with Michelle Bachelet.
Hi.
Hello.
Correct or incorrect?
Okay.
300.
Okay. I make a sandwich if I be hungry.
Incorrect.
Okay, it's
But
incorrect. How do you think it should be the correct answer?
Lo voy a responder en español porque no tiene el will, no tiene will. If
Okay,
y el
where
if
do we put the
en el-
word will? ¿Dónde ponemos ese will?
I will.
Continue.
I don't know, teacher. Right.
I'm going to give you a hint. This is the effect. And remember that the effect uses the future will. Therefore, where do we have to put the word will?
No, but she already said he will put the will after I.
But what I will be or I will make?
No. Okay, the first.
Okay, let's see the answer. And the answer is, I will, in fact, is incorrect. That's correct. I mean, your answer is well done. I will make a sandwich if I am hungry. This is what's missing because with simple present tense, the verb to be must be conjugated. Am, is, or are. But because it's I who is doing the action, doing the action, the conjugation must be am. So I make a sandwich if I am hungry, or vice versa. If I am hungry, I will make a sandwich. So this is the other option. Okay, look, I'm going to give you the link of this exercise for you to complete it at home. So you can practice zero conditional and first conditional because the idea is to, sorry, this is all first conditional. For you to complete, to improve your vocabulary and your skills with first conditional. And I'm going to give you two more games. The first one is a bowling game. You have to click here in start and answer the questions here. So this is very easy. And I'm giving you an exercise. This is a typing exercise. So for example, in this case, you type rains and you're going to type here, we will stay. If it rains, then we will stay at home. This is the cause. The cause is always with simple present tense, and the effect uses will. Here is the structure in terms of grammar. If with simple present, and the effect is going to be with will. Go down and click in finish, click in check my answers, and if you have a red button, it's because you made a mistake. If your answer is highlighted in green, it's because you did it well. Okay, this is the third exercise for you to do it at home. Not yet, because it's not time yet. And let's finish with the last exercise. We already know how first conditional works. We need simple present tense and we need simple future tense. The cause is present, the effect is future. So now we are going to do a parallel between these two conditionals because they are very similar. They are incredibly similar. We are going to use first conditional, today's session, to describe a particular situation, something that's true for me or for you or for your sister, but not for everybody in the world, only for you or for me or for your best friend, for nobody else. This is particular, subjective. Meanwhile, we are going to use zero conditional to describe what happens in general. It happens to you, to me, to your best friend, to your cousin, to your dog, to your mother, to your son, to your daughter, to your neighbor, for everybody. It happens to everyone in the world. So this is the main difference. Zero conditional describes a particular situation. Zero conditional describes a general situation. This is the main difference. So that's why we are going to use the probabilities to know what's going to happen in the future. Examples. Zero conditional. This is going to happen. This is going to be true for you, for me, for a Chinese person, for a British person, for a Brazilian person, and whatever. If you sit in the sun, you get burned. So every time a person sits in the sun, this person is going to be burned by the sun. Doesn't matter if it's a woman, a man, it's a kid, it's an old person, it's American, it's British, it's a homosexual, heterosexual, sorry, it's a straight, homosexual, straight, right? It doesn't matter. It happens to everyone. It's blonde, it's black haired, it's red haired. It doesn't matter. It happens to everyone. So, because burning is a natural consequence of sitting on the sun. It happens to everyone, right? This is general. First conditional in this case, if you sit on the sun, you will get burned. In this case, if you have the habit of sitting on the sun, because not everyone is going to like to sit on the sun in a beach, because some people will prefer not to go to the beach, will prefer to stay in the shadow, right? Most of us will prefer that. But if you go to the beach and you want to go to you prefer not to wear, not to use a sunscreen, if you go to the beach without any kind of protection, you are going to be you're going to get burned. In this case, uh, this is what's going to happen to you today if you do this action today. If you don't go today, or you go at night, or you prefer not to go, something different is going to happen, right? But this is your decision. This is your the result of your action only for you. Okay. This is an example of the difference between zero and first conditional. So with zero conditional, we already know the structure, present simple tense with present simple tense, cause and effect. And we know that the probability of success of something is 100%. I mean, always will happen. It will always happen, this situation, for everyone, for every every time we do this experiment, we are going to have the same result, always. First conditional instead, in terms of grammar, we use the simple present tense to talk about the cause, and we are using the future will to to mention the effect. In this case, the probability of success is not going to be 100%. It's going to be between 40 and 90%. So the probability is high, not perfect. No, it's not going to happen all the time, but the probability of success is elevated, is high. So this is the difference between zero and first conditional, not only in terms of grammar, but also in terms of probability. This is the other option, the other form to see the difference between these two conditionals. Okay, so let's do a couple of examples, a couple of exercises. The first with quizzes, the second with Kahoot, and that would be all for today's lesson. Oops. Yep. Okay, let's go. Good luck. Okay, you will have until 9:14 to complete the game, okay? 2 more minutes. Okay, look. Okay, third place for Michelle, second place for Juan, and the first place for Samuel. Congratulations. Let's see the difficult questions. Let's give some feedback. And the questions are, if I have time, I use shopping. In this case, if I have time, I take you shopping. This is going to happen all of the times or only in this situation, right? This is a general or this is something particular. It's more it's more probable to mention that this is something particular. So first conditional, right? If I have time, I will take you shopping. Si tengo tiempo, te llevaré a ir de compras. So there it is. I will take you. Let's go with the next one. We use first conditional to express something that will probably happen in the past. We are not using the past simple with the first conditional. In the present, no. With now, this is zero conditional. In the future, bingo. Okay, let's go with the next one. We, the house, if they leave the house. So we have the present here. So we have two options, present with present or present with future, because the effect is here. We, the housework. We does not. This is definitely not the answer, because the conjugation of the verb with we is not with does, has, or whatever. I mean, the main verb is not going to change when the person who performs the action is a plural subject. I mean, we, you, they, or I. Therefore, does or doesn't are not possible. So we have two possibilities. We do the housework if they leave the house, or we don't do the housework if they leave the house. In terms of grammar, both are correct, both. But in this case, taking into account the context, taking into account what a person should do is this. We do the housework, we clean the house, if my parents leave the house. We will clean the house if our parents leave the house, because we are good kids, we are good children. So this is something we normally do, right? In this case, both options are correct. But in terms of being a good person and so on, the word do is works better. So if you typed do not do or do, both are acceptable, both are correct. Why not does? Because the conjugation of does is not compatible with we. If it were she does, this is acceptable. Mario does, perfect. The dog does, awesome. But for we, the conjugation is not does. Last one. You have to stop there. You have to stop your car. This is the effect. When we have the effect with simple present tense, we have the cause with simple present tense. So what's the cause here? If you see a stop sign, perfect. If you saw, this is past. If you will see, this is present. They are not acceptable. If you good, this is a conditional number two. This is second conditional, so we cannot use this. Therefore, the only possibility here is if you see a stop sign, you have to stop your car, and you have to do it always, all of the time. This is the probability of this happening is the 100% of the times. I mean, this is a rule. You have to do it always. In Colombia, in Brazil, in Medellin, in Bogotá, in Santa Marta, whatever. So this has to happen all of the time. If you see a stop sign, you have to stop your car. Okay, so thank you, quizzes. See you next time. Let's go with the last game. Do you want to play a last game, or do you prefer to finish the class in this case, in this moment? What do you think? Because I spent, I spoke 18 more minutes, 18 more minutes than I expected. You want to play the last game, or do you want to finish on this case here?
And so playing for let's game.
Okay, let's go with the last game. I'm going to play with you. So in this time, in this case, we're going to play this for 3 minutes. You already know the rules. Okay, you already know how this works, so let's go. Good luck. Okay, we have been eaten by the animal. Second round. Let's go with the second round. Okay, Juan David, what do you see?
Yes.
What do you see?
Okay. And so alpinists from tourists.
A tourist. Okay, a man
Yes.
walking.
From this is and tourists are from mountain alpinists.
Okay, next picture.
Okay. From this is an eat and gadget from and cookie.
Cookie.
From
Okay,
this
next.
is for this is and light.
Light bulb. Okay.
Yes, from from
Light bulb. Okay, we're diving. Good. We escaped from the monster. Okay, we are Sardine. Our captain is Juan David with 16 seconds, 16.66 seconds. Great. Engineer, this is me. Second place for Samuel. And the sailor is for Samuel. Okay, well done. Okay, this is the end of this second game. So thank you, Kahoot, very much for your support. It was nice. I'm going to give you one more two games, not for me to answer them to me, but for you to complete them at home. The idea is for you to answer the questions. You know how this works. So first column is zero conditional. Second column is first conditional. In the third column, you're going to find questions in the first and second in zero and first conditional. Sorry. When and if, you already know the difference. When we have two options, and if we have 3, 4, 5, 9, 50 option of possibilities of events or results, and create your own. You will have to create a sentence with first conditional or zero conditional according to the context. So the link is here for you to do it at home, not with me. And the last link for you to do it at home is a test. So in this case, you will have to choose the correct option, right? I'm not reading the questions, so that's why I'm just clicking in the possibilities, in the options. I don't know if they are correct or no. I don't, this is not important in this moment. I just want to show you how this works. So clicking check, and here you will have your results. So in this case, if they are in red, it's because you made a mistake. Without checking the answer, I had a result of 53% of accuracy, so that's great, but I can do it better, of course. This is the game, this is the exercise for you to study zero and first conditionals. Okay, that's all for today, ladies, gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming. If you have questions, if you have any question, feel free to ask me now in this moment. So, Samuel, tell me.
Thank you, teacher. I have one question, but
Sure.
first I want to thank you for your commitment, your energy, your preparation with this class. Thank you so much, and I really wish you nothing but the best, not only in your professional life, but in your personal goals too. So thank you very much.
Wow, thank you very much, Samuel. I appreciate your comment, your feedback. I really enjoyed working with you guys. I really enjoyed it.
No,
So, what's your question?
you're really welcome. And my question is about, do you know about a deadline of the Sajuna page? Because all the links are still down. Maybe the first day on next month, or do you have an
Okay,
approximately date?
so to present activities, the deadline is the 31st. So the
No,
31st
no, no.
is
This is
on
this is
Wednesday.
this is about this level. I am talking about the next levels, the Word archive that you provide as the last session.
Yeah.
For
So
example,
in
if
order
I
to,
want to continue in level 6, in order to continue the pace, uh, do you know when
yeah,
are they
about
available?
that, it's supposed that next month, I mean, in 4 days, 6 days. Yeah, in 4 days. We are not counting today. It's supposed that in 4 days, I mean, the first or the second of August, Sena Sofia is going to work again. We expect, we hope that everything be functional on the first or on the second. So we will have to wait until the 31st and open the page Sena Sofia Plus to see if we can enroll in level 6. Meanwhile, we can only wait. We can just wait. We are guessing, we hope that on the 1st of August, the platform is going to be functional, 100% functional. But this is just a guessing. So we will need to guess. We will need to wait, sorry.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Okay, doc. Juan David, tell me.
Okay, this is talking of Spanish. Yes?
As you wish, yeah.
Ok, profe. Una pregunta. Digamos, como la página ya esto, están en mantenimiento, ¿cuándo crees que es exactamente la fecha que van a abrir los cursos presenciales?
Opa, presenciales. La situación con presenciales es que yo no manejo la cuestión presencial
Sí, yo
porque,
sé,
bueno,
sí, pero
pues
digamos, ¿cuál es la fecha exacta que abren las convocatorias?
eso tocaría abrirlo eso se abre cada centro, ¿no? Y depende de lo que usted haga con Sena, porque si usted se quiere meter a cursos presenciales de inglés, solamente de inglés, no los hay, pues, o por lo menos depende del centro, ¿no? Pero normalmente no lo hay. Si quiere una carrera técnica, tecnológica, ahí es donde le digo, no la hay. O sea, no hay un técnico en inglés de negocios, por ejemplo, o un tecnólogo en inglés
Ah,
para
ok, ok.
finanzas. Eso no lo hay. Lo que sí hay es, por ejemplo, asistencia administrativa, me invento, y dentro de asistencia administrativa hay los niveles de inglés. O tecnólogo no sé, tecnólogo a ver, me invento uno, en, en real
Pero no
estate.
me refería, pero no me refería a esa parte de inglés, sino otros temas, por ejemplo, como hacer otros cursos diferentes, como no sé, cocina o de eso.
Sí, listo. Con respecto a ese tipo de cursos, cada ciudad
Sí.
es diferente, ¿cierto? Y cada centro es diferente dentro del país, pero las convocatorias se hacen cada 3 meses. Entonces, en diciembre se hacen las convocatorias para el primer trimestre, enero, febrero, marzo. En marzo, más o menos, finales de febrero, inicios de marzo, se abren las convocatorias para las personas que quieran estudiar presencial entre abril, mayo, junio. En junio o finales de mayo se abren las convocatorias para las personas que van a entrar al trimestre julio, agosto, septiembre. Y en septiembre, finales de agosto, se abren convocatorias para las personas que van a entrar entre octubre y diciembre. Entonces, es cada 3 meses
Ah,
porque
ok. Listo.
nosotros lo hacemos trimestral. Y eso sé que es en todo el país, pero ya la carrera y los requisitos ya son con cada centro. Porque, pues, por ejemplo,
Ok, entonces
eh,
ese es el que viene acá es para agosto. Entonces, pero como la página está en mantenimiento, entonces toca esperar, ¿cierto?
sí, la que yo le sugeriría es que se dirija al centro de su preferencia. Por ejemplo, por ejemplo,
Ajá.
en Cali, que es donde yo trabajaba antes, está el centro de la construcción, el centro el CAI, el CGTS, está pues, el pesquero y hay otros que hay en Jumbo y otros así. Entonces, cada
Ok,
centro tiene carreras diferentes. Entonces, por ejemplo, CAI es principalmente toda la parte técnica de electricidad.
de
CGTS, que es donde
acuerdo.
yo estaba, era la parte de servicios. Entonces, cada centro es como si fuese una empresa y cada empresa ofrece programas diferentes. Y al ser programas diferentes, pues la administración también es un poquito diferente,
Comprendo.
pero sí cada 3 meses se abren las convocatorias. Lo que sí puede ir es al centro, que le digo, pues a la institución y ahí preguntar. Normalmente los guardas, los watchmen, le dicen cuándo se abren las convocatorias. Entonces, pero como le digo, es
De
cada tres
acuerdo, profe.
meses.
Listo, profesor. Dale, muchas gracias.
Ok, doc. Ok, ¿alguna otra inquietud, duda, pregunta, solicitud, queja, reclamo? Bien, creo que no la hay, ¿no? Ok, entonces, desde los espacios, como diría Diana Uribe, de todo lo que tiene que ver con los condicionales, de lo que fue el futuro simple, de lo que fue el futuro going to, de lo que tiene que ver con los verbos modales, les agradezco mucho por su asistencia el día de hoy en todas las sesiones que hayan asistido. Les agradezco mucho y cualquier cosa nos vemos en los clubes de conversación y de pronto en alguna ocasión en el futuro, quizás puede ser tal vez de pronto. Muchas gracias, muchachos. Les deseo una muy feliz noche y muchos éxitos en su vida laboral y en todas las áreas de su vida que hay, ¿no? Que les vaya bonito, diría Enrique Bunbury.
Ok.
Gracias, profe. Buenas
Bye,
noches.
bye, profe.
Take care. Good night.